SM accept global trainees? If I were to rank the categories in terms of what SM looks for the most and what SM doesn't really care about, then it would have to be. Let's talk about the biggest and what's considered as the first K-pop entertainment in the K-pop industry, SM Entertainment. First things first, I did upload a shorts video on SM and their labels and their subsidiaries, so make sure to go check that out if you are interested in knowing kind of like what goes on within SM. So in the past, it's been revealed that SM looks for a blank canvas. So what this means is that they look for potential rather than talent. They want to see some potential that they can work with, that they can polish and develop, rather than already polished and developed trainees. So SM is a really good company for you. If you kind of are finding your style, you don't really know what suits you, you know that a variety of things can suit you. So the very first question is, does SM even care about stage presence? This is a funny one because these days, their idols are known for not having stage presence. However, I would say that SM is one of those companies that really don't look for stage presence as compared to the other categories. So like I said, I will be ranking them in terms of what they look for and what they kind of don't really care about as much, but stage presence definitely is not one of the top two things that they look for. But firstly, I do want to clarify the differences between stage presence and charisma. So charisma is what is described as the vibe and the aura that you exude even when you're just kind of sitting. You have this vibe that SM idols give off, and it's kind of elegant, it's a little like royal. Whereas stage presence is when you're on stage and you exude this charisma onto your performance. So it's a little different in terms of kind of how you present yourself in normal manner and then how you present yourself when you're actually performing. So the next question is, can you get in just with your visuals? So SM actually has auditions specifically for the visual category, so definitely yes. In the past, they've just accepted idols just based off of their visuals, so this is definitely a possibility. SM really prioritizes Korean beauty standards, and I'm sure you can notice that through their idols as well. So the next question is, what kind of vocals do they look for when it comes to the singing category? So if you kind of just look at their main vocals, you can see that they have a powerful and really soulful kind of tone. If I were to describe SM's sound in terms of singing in one word, it would definitely be soulful. This means that they sing with intense emotion, and I'm sure you can notice that through their idols. And that's kind of what I mean by when I say when you're singing, make sure you actually connect to the song and you show off your emotions in the best manner possible. This is what I mean because SM really looks for that, and they really want to find that emotion within you when you're singing. And with this, they also like to prioritize high vocal ranges, especially for female artists. Even apart from just main vocalists in SM groups, you'll see that the other vocalists also have strong vocals. Like, if they were to be placed in another group that isn't from SM, they would probably be considered as the main vocal. Obviously, there are outliers in every single group where some members don't have the strongest vocals, but they got in because of another reason, whether that be visuals, dancing, whatever. So the next question is there a certain image that the judges look for? So like I said so many times, looking like a previous idol is definitely a plus. So let's say you look like Irene from Red Velvet, that's basically a free pass. If you fit into the Korean beauty standards, obviously that is a plus because they do prioritize visuals, but there are some other visuals that they look for as well. Like there's obviously that one sort of category where they are classified as the main visuals, like let's say Irene, I don't know, Yuna from SNSD, but there's also this other type where they kind of look more charismatic K-pop idols. So this would be like Hyoyeon from SNSD or Seulgi from Red Velvet. Sorry, I'm only listing off girl group examples because but you know, I'm sure you could find some boy group examples that follow this manner as well. So the next question is, does age matter when it comes to SM auditions? So honestly, it doesn't matter as much compared to other companies. Other companies are debuting really young idols like crazy, but if you see SM groups, you'll see that the oldest member definitely debuted at more of a later age. You'll see that in my shorts where I talked about the K-pop idols that debuted at an older age. SM idols are included in there as well, and their maknaes aren't that young. Obviously, there are outliers like NCT Dream. They are quite young, or they did debut at a young age, but I feel like overall, they don't mind older K-pop idols. I thought this next question was a good one. So the question is, how to catch the attention of SM recruiters when you do not necessarily correspond to the standard. By standard, I'm assuming you mean like visual, some things that you can't change. So how can you influence the judges changes by aspects that you can change. So I guess I'm going to connect this to categories. So for dancing and rapping, definitely exude that charisma that I talked about earlier. And you really want to show that difference, I guess, what makes you stand out personally, I guess, in terms of charisma. And for the vocal category, similarly to what I talked about previously, you really want to have that emotional, soulful aspect to it. But another way you can do this is to copy the styles of previous SM main vocalists. So kind of learn from their techniques and how they use their vocal cords to sing, and kind of mimic that, and you'll see yourself kind of fitting in with the image that SM looks for. Now we're going to stray away from the audition-like questions, but don't worry, we'll get into it later. So the next question is, why does SM make their idols lip sync more nowadays when their idols are trained to have absolutely amazing vocals? Oh my god, my voice. Anyway, that's a really good question. I would like to ask the same to SM as well. But I thought of two likely possibilities. So the first one is they want their idols to seem perfect, and live singing doesn't really showcase perfectness. It shows imperfections, and some groups are all for that. They want to seem genuine towards, I don't know, their audience, but SM really likes striving for perfect, and this is in terms of visuals, talent, all of that, and I feel like that also connects to live singing as well. And then secondly, they're kind of preserving their live performances for more so important festivals and events, kind of like Coachella, like how aespa sang live at Coachella, but they didn't when it comes to other unimportant events and festivals. Next question, will they make a new girl group soon? Guys, I say this like every week, but I cannot tell the future, and especially with how unpredictable SM groups can be. So let's just talk in terms of girl groups, because I feel like it's a little less complicated, especially with the whole NCT system. So their like debuting, I guess, periods have been really, really inconsistent. From Girls' Generation to FX is 2 years. From FX to Red Velvet is 5 years. From Red Velvet to aespa is 7 years. So really there's no predicting in what they'll do next. Also, another thing that relates to this that I also wanted to talk about is like how some people try to match that year. So like, okay, if I get in to SM at 2024, then I'll train for 2 years and then I'll debut. No, so they already have trainees in store. Like let's say they are debuting them next year in 2023, is it? Yeah, in 2023. They already have trainees prepared. So just because you get in now doesn't mean that you'll debut in that group. The next question seems to be quite common, and that is SM truly as harsh as they seem? SM is definitely one of the most strict K-pop companies when it comes to diets, rules, dating, and all of that kind of thing. And it's expected that trainees also follow these, I guess, norms as well. I mean, you guys, they literally almost sued me for sharing their audition process. Who knows what they'll do if an idol dates. But anyway, this video is about them, not me. So the next question is, does SM accept ex-trainees from other companies? So honestly, I haven't seen this very often. If anything, it's like ex-SM trainees go to other companies, but not the other way around. So they, like I said, they really like to make idols of their own, blank canvas, like I said. And I was actually surprised that Han, you know, the really young, really talented dancer, I was surprised that she joined SM because she has history apart from SM, and she's quite developed on her own and has her own style, but they still accepted her. I don't know, that seems to be an outlier, but usually they do not do this. Also, SM is infamous for sharing young trainees like through SM rookies and then never ending up debuting them. So the second to last question everyone's been waiting for is, does SM accept global trainees? So firstly, starting off with like Japanese and Chinese idols, so other East Asian idols, 100% they do. They do have more Chinese idols than Japanese idols, but both they do have idols from each country. However, apart from East Asians, I really don't see this often unless you're talking about idols that have some East Asian blood within them. So can you still get in if you're not from East Asia? Yeah, most definitely. This is something that I repeat all the time, but even if you're not East Asian, if you look East Asian and you have, I guess, features from them and you fit the Korean beauty standards, then you are ahead of the game. Also, is there a first for everything? Yes, there most definitely is. Oh yeah, someone asked if they can get in even though they're POC. You guys, East Asians, or Asians in general, are also POC. I know, funny. POC means people of color, which means people that aren't white, essentially. So the last thing that I promised, If I were to rank the categories in terms of what SM looks for the most and what SM doesn't really care about, then it would have to be vocals and visuals kind of at the top together, I guess. And then a little below that would be dancing, and then under that would be stage presence, and then under that would be rapping. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, which is going to be YG or JYP. Let's see. Bye!